The invisible fire inside you. Most people think they are relatively healthy, but what if a silent, invisible process is happening inside your blood vessels right now, draining your daily energy and accelerating how fast your organs age? Here's what most people don't realize. Your body might be trapped in a state of low grade chronic inflammation. It doesn't always show up as a swollen ankle or a red rash. Instead, it manifests as that unexplainable afternoon brain fog, waking up feeling stiff, or a digestive system that feels constantly bloated. We've been conditioned to treat these symptoms with over the counter pills or extra cups of coffee. But researchers at Harvard Medical School recently noted that chronic systemic inflammation is the underlying driver behind almost every modern metabolic health issue, from insulin resistance to cardiovascular decline. So, how do we put out this internal fire? The answer isn't hiding in a prescription bottle. It's a biohack that costs pennies, takes 2 minutes to prepare, and relies on a molecular mechanism that has fascinated longevity researchers for decades. If you take a single teaspoon of organic turmeric, dissolve it in warm water with two specific catalyst ingredients, and drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, something extraordinary happens to your biochemistry. Within exactly 7 days, your cellular defense systems undergo a profound shift. But if you just toss turmeric powder into plain water and gulp it down, your body absorbs practically 0% of it. Let's look at the actual molecular science of what happens when you do this the right way. To understand why this morning elixir is so potent, we have to look past the bright yellow color. We must look directly at a group of bioactive compounds called curcuminoids, specifically curcumin. A landmark study published in the journal Advanced Experimental Medical Biology found that curcumin acts as a natural, highly potent anti inflammatory agent. It rivals some pharmaceutical options, but without the toxic load on your liver. Here's exactly how it works inside your body. At the center of your cellular stress response is a specific protein complex called NFKB. Think of NFKB as a master chemical switch located inside your cells. When it gets flipped on by stress, poor diet, or environmental toxins, it travels into your cell's nucleus and commands your DNA to start pumping out inflammatory molecules. This creates a cascade of systemic inflammation that attacks your tissues. When you drink warm turmeric water on an empty stomach, curcumin enters your bloodstream and directly binds to this master switch. It physically blocks NFKB from entering the cell nucleus. The consequence of shutting down this molecular pathway is immediate and profound. Within days, the circulating levels of inflammatory markers like C reactive protein begin to drop. This is why people who drink this formulation consistently report that the chronic stiffness in their fingers, knees, and lower back seems to vanish within the first week. You aren't just masking the pain, you are fundamentally turning off the genetic master switch that creates the pain in the first place. But the benefits don't stop at your joints. The true magic of drinking this on an empty stomach happens inside your digestive tract and your liver, a system scientists refer to as the gut-liver axis. Researchers discovered in a study published in Nutrients that curcumin acts as a powerful prebiotic, fundamentally reshaping the landscape of your gut microbiome while simultaneously accelerating bile production in the gallbladder. Here's the mechanism. When warm turmeric water hits your empty stomach, it passes directly into the small intestine without being slowed down by heavy solid foods. Once there, it triggers your gallbladder to release bile acids. Bile is your body's natural detergent. Its job is to emulsify fats and help flush out fat-soluble toxins that your liver has spent the night filtering out of your blood. At the same time, curcumin interacts with the endothelial lining of your gut, strengthening the tight junctions between your cells. If you don't stimulate this morning flush, toxins can become sluggish and bile hardens. This leads to leaky gut syndrome, where undigested food particles leak into your bloodstream, triggering an autoimmune response and leaving you feeling chronically bloated, fatigued, and holding on to stubborn water weight. By initiating this morning bile flush with turmeric water, you rapidly accelerate your liver's phase 2 detoxification pathway. You are effectively clearing out the digestive plumbing every single morning. This leads to smoother digestion, a flatter stomach, and a surge in natural morning energy. Now, here is the critical pivot point where 90% of people completely fail. They read about the benefits, buy a jar of spice, stir it into cold water, and drink it. They notice no changes and assume the science is fake. Here's what they don't realize: raw curcumin has a dangerously low bioavailability. On its own, your intestinal tract cannot absorb it efficiently. It has a hydrophobic molecular structure, meaning it hates water and loves fat. If you drink it in plain water, your liver identifies it as a foreign compound. The liver immediately metabolizes it through a process called glucuronidation, flushing it out of your body before it ever reaches your cells. To fix this, you must apply two non-negotiable scientific catalysts. First, you need black pepper. A study found that piperine, the active alkaloid in black pepper, inhibits the liver enzymes that try to flush out curcumin. This enhances absorption by an astonishing 2,000%. Second, you must include healthy fats. Because curcumin is highly fat-soluble, it needs a lipid delivery vehicle to bypass early liver metabolism and enter the lymphatic system, dramatically increasing cellular uptake. To prepare this correctly, take 1 cup of warm water, not boiling. Add half a teaspoon of organic turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil or pure coconut oil. Instead of being destroyed by the liver, the curcumin binds to the lipids, passes effortlessly through your intestinal wall, and enters your systemic circulation at maximum potency. Once you have unlocked this absorption boost, the benefits extend to your brain and metabolic health. A UCLA clinical trial discovered daily curcumin consumption led to significant improvements in memory and mood. Curcumin is one of the few plant-derived compounds small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, it stimulates the expression of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF acts like fertilizer for your brain cells. It encourages the growth of new neurons and forms new synaptic connections. Furthermore, its antioxidant properties neutralize advanced glycation end products. If BDNF levels drop due to chronic inflammation, your brain cells begin to experience premature atrophy. This is the physiological origin of severe afternoon brain fog and the long-term risk of cognitive decline. Simultaneously, without these safeguards, your fat cells become highly inflamed, making it difficult to burn stored body fat for fuel. By flooding your system with bioavailable curcumin, you keep BDNF levels elevated. The consequence? Your brain feels remarkably sharp before you even touch coffee, and your body transitions into a state of efficient metabolic flexibility. Knowing the science is worthless unless you apply it. Let's put this into action with a simple challenge. Starting tomorrow morning, before food or coffee, try this exact formula. Take 1 cup of warm water, add half a teaspoon of organic turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. Commit to doing this for just 7 consecutive days. Pay close attention to your morning joint stiffness, digestive comfort, and mental clarity by day 7. If this changed how you look at biohacking, hit the like button. Share this video with someone who needs the truth about chronic inflammation.